I'm Alberta Morrison, 64, from Charleston. When my husband Richard died, I kept silent about my $28 million skyscraper and $47 million in assets. That night my daughter-in-law Cynthia screamed, "Pack your bags, the old leech doesn't stay here." I said, "Okay," and planned to show them who I really am. Follow my story and comment your city to see how far it's reached. Richard's funeral was dignified, just as he'd have wanted. In my navy dress, his favorite, I sat in the front pew, composure my shield. People praised my devotion, caring for him through his cancer without complaint. They didn't know the truth. His son Marcus gave a heartfelt eulogy, daughter Sarah read a poem. Even his ex-wife Patricia spoke kindly. I nodded, accepted condolences, but they forgot I was the widow, not just the second wife. At the reception in our house, family eyed photo albums and furniture, calculating their worth. Sarah's husband James asked about Richard's business. Marcus's wife Jennifer mused about the house's value. Cynthia, David's wife, watched me with cold eyes, always seeing me as a gold digger, ignorant of my wealth. Her icy smiles and whispers with Sarah unnerved me. By 8:30, guests left. In the kitchen, loading the dishwasher to hold back grief, Cynthia's heavy footsteps stopped behind me. "That's over with," she said. I thanked her but she snapped, "Cut the act, Alberta." David, Sarah, and Marcus stood behind her, a tribunal. "We need to talk practical matters," Cynthia said. "This house, Richard's assets, the business. Find your own place." The room spun. Sarah said the house was too big for one person, upkeep too costly. Cynthia smirked. "You're 64, Alberta. Richard provided everything. You never worked." My chest tightened. "This is my home. I've lived here 15 years. Marcus added. "Dad would want us practical." Cynthia dismissed Richard's will, assuming I'd get a pittance. "Pack tonight," she said. "Find a senior community, assisted living." David avoided my gaze. Betrayal hurt worse than grief. But something cold and patient stirred in me. "Okay," I said, resuming dishwashing. They expected a fight. My calm threw them. They whispered excitedly in the living room, dividing my life. They thought they'd erased a burden, not knowing they'd challenged someone who'd played the long game for decades. I packed 2 suitcases, leaving jewelry and artwork for Cynthia to catalog. At the Hampton Inn on Route 1, I checked in as Alberta Morrison, paying cash for a week. Invisible, just another senior. Perfect. I called Harold Steinberg, my attorney for 15 years, unknown to Richard's family. "They're giving you trouble," he said. I shared Cynthia's demands. "Do they know your situation?" "None. Richard and I hid my $47 million from my first marriage, letting them see him as the mogul, me as the trophy wife." "Proceed as planned?" Harold asked. "Yes." He confirmed transfers in 48 hours, restructuring in 2 weeks, all legally mine for a decade. The house was mine since 2008. I could evict them now. But I wanted them to reveal themselves, comfortable in my house, planning their inheritance. "Give them rope," I said. From across the street, I watched Cynthia direct moving trucks, her furniture signaling a permanent stay. David texted, hoping I'd found a nice place, mentioning business files. I laughed. They were rifling through Richard's decoy files for his small firm. Real assets, deeds, stocks, sat in a downtown safety deposit box. At First National, banker Margaret Chen processed transfers, stunned by my $47 million portfolio. "Privacy mattered," I said. Cynthia's voicemail demanded answers for confusing paperwork. I deleted it, letting them worry. Mornings, I worked in the hotel's business center. Tuesday, I called Manhattan property managers about my apartment complexes. Wednesday, my advisor restructured assets. Thursday, architects discussed my $28 million Soho skyscraper, a warehouse turned lofts for my first marriage's wealth. To them I was jobless. Friday, Harold said they'd hired Jackson Morrison, no relation, to probe Richard's estate, requesting a will reading Monday. "I'm ready," I said. I bought a navy suit, grandmother's pearls, Richard's Cartier watch, quiet power. Sunday, I moved to the Fairmont's penthouse, ordering lobster, reviewing Harold's documents. Monday at Morrison & Associates, I sat as Cynthia, Marcus, Sarah, and David argued I wasn't a real beneficiary. Harold arrived with Catherine Walsh, my representative. Jackson read the will. $50,000 each to Marcus, Sarah, David. The rest, properties, investments, to me. Shock hit them. Cynthia demanded details. Catherine presented documents. The house, mine since 2008. Morrison Holdings LLC, my 17 properties, including the $28 million skyscraper. Mrs. Morrison's holdings total $47 million, Catherine said, not including Richard's $300,000. Cynthia accused me of lying. I let you show who you are, I said. You evicted me, called me Sangsuga. I gave them 72 hours to leave or face eviction. Cynthia called, begging for a settlement. I reminded her she'd thrown me out, called me a bloodsucker, then blocked her. David visited, apologizing. I knew it was wrong, he said, tears falling. You raised me, loved me unconditionally, and I let Cynthia humiliate you. I took his hand. You made a mistake, not unforgivable. We agreed to rebuild, honestly. At the house, I found them with Cynthia's parents, Tom and Linda Patterson. Cynthia proposed a settlement for her improvements. I revealed my wealth. Linda was horrified. You threw her out at her husband's funeral? They left, ashamed. I gave 20 minutes to finish packing. Cynthia hissed. This isn't over. It is, I said. They scrambled out. Harold confirmed they were gone. I feel free, I said. 6 months later, in my garden, Dr. Elizabeth Chen called. David, in a car accident, listed me as his emergency contact. At Mercy General, his leg and arm broken, he said. Cynthia left, taking their savings. I knew throwing you out was wrong, he said. You were more a mother than mine. I forgave him. We'll rebuild, but I'm not invisible anymore. Marcus and Sarah called apologetic. I'd wait. Cynthia burned her bridge. At 64, I'm free, worth $47 million, my skyscraper standing tall. My roses bloom, and I choose who enters my life. What would you do in my place? Comment your city and share your story.